And hello everyone, and welcome to the final episode of the semester of Inside the Nest. I am your host, Luke Cirianni, and we have so much to cover as we wrap up this amazing school year. Let's begin with the updated news regarding the 19th varsity program to join Montclair State. Women's flag football has announced that they will have their first full season as a varsity sport next spring in 2026. Jim Kelly has been named the program's first ever head coach. Kelly served as the assistant running back coach for the football team and has now changed sports but is staying with his alma mater school, Montclair State. Associate Vice President and Director of Athletics and Recreation Robert Chesney released this statement, quote, "We are proud to introduce women's flag football at Montclair State University, continuing our commitment to expanding athletic opportunities on campus and taking another exciting step forward in supporting female student athletes." Coach Kelly said, "I believe women's flag football at Montclair State can have a special future on our thriving campus. I am humbled by the opportunity to represent the institution on and off the field on this new journey." Montclair State University will prepare its launch with a non-traditional season in the fall of 2025 before officially kicking off its inaugural NCAA season in the spring of 2026. The busy NJAC playoff season continues as the softball team took on Ramapo in Mahwah. The Redhawks were shut out 5-0 in the first round. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the game. Montclair State versus Ramapo. Starting off with the bottom of the second, 2 outs and runners on the corners. Clea Correa Vaness tries to lay down a bunt, and catcher Katie Brunner comes out to make a nice catch to keep the game scoreless. Now to the top of the third inning. With 2 outs and no one on base, Riley Glynn hits a hard ground ball to third, and no throw is made. This was the first base hit of the game for Montclair State. Now, let's fast forward to the bottom of the fifth with runners on first and second. Alex Hastings at the plate hits the ball to center field, and Madison Leach comes all the way from center field to make the catch. Bottom of the sixth with 2 outs with a runner on first, Sophia Diaz hits a long ball to right field, and Ramapo's Kari Gajulo scores, and Ramapo takes the 1-0 lead. In the same half inning, bottom of the sixth with Ramapo up 2-0, Clea Correa Vaness hits a ground ball to Liz Mullen, who tries to make the play at first, but the throw wasn't in time. 2 more runs score, which makes it 4-0 Ramapo. Ramapo adds another run in the sixth, and after a 1-2-3 seventh inning, Ramapo wins the game 5-0. Despite the tough loss, the Redhawks season isn't done just yet. They're still alive in this double elimination tournament and will face the loser of Rowan and Stockton on Saturday. They'll have to win to extend their season. Moving on to baseball, Montclair State will face off against TCNJ in the first round of the NJAC tournament. The two teams played a wild doubleheader last Sunday as TCNJ took the first game 17-14. In Game 2, Montclair State trailed 14-11 with 2 outs in the top of the ninth when Zach Stearns blasted a grand slam over the center field fence to give the Redhawks a 15-14 lead. But TCNJ rallied back to tie the game in the bottom of the ninth on a leadoff home run by Gianni Morano. The game was eventually called in the 10th inning due to darkness as the teams tied 15-15. Because of that tie, TCNJ earned the right to host Montclair in the first round of the NJAC matchup. And here's the way the bracket shakes out. So starting off here with Game 2, you have Rowan versus Ramapo, and the loser of Game 2 will go down in the loser's bracket to face the loser of Game 1 between Kean and Rutgers-Camden. Now here's when things get really tricky in Game 3. The loser of Montclair State versus TCNJ will have to play the winner of Kean and Rutgers-Camden. That is where the tricky part is. So this is not a game the Redhawks want to lose for their playoff implications. And to make it easier to move on, remember, the name of the game, 2 losses and your season is over. So the loser of Montclair and TCNJ might have the hardest route to the final. Let's preview the huge matchup between Montclair State and TCNJ. Going into Sunday's wild doubleheader, playoff seeding was anything but certain. Montclair State and TCNJ were neck and neck, and what unfolded was nothing short of chaotic. After losing Game 1 in a slugfest 17-14, and ending Game 2 in a rare 15-15 tie due to darkness, the Redhawks closed out the regular season as the number 5 seed in the NJAC. That finish locks them into another showdown with number 4 seeded TCNJ in the first round. We spoke to some of our Redhawks to see their thoughts on playing them for the third time in 5 days, this time with the stakes much higher.
You know, obviously a really strong program. Coach Godfrey does a good job over there with TCNJ this year. We're going to game plan, against their guy and do the best we can to take a really good approach offensively. And we've got to do a better job just kind of tightening up the back end of our bullpen. If we do that and we can finish some games in the middle innings, then I think we're in a really good place as we continue on.
Yeah, one thing that's big for us is we don't really care who's in the other dugout. We show up every game, play our game, stay within ourselves, and have that confidence to beat whoever we're playing against.
As much as you don't want to say it's another game, it's just another game, when it comes to preparation-wise. So I'll prepare like I have all season. And, obviously they're a good team. They've shown that, they can hit. So, for me, I'm just kind of preparing myself for their strikes, compete in the zone, and let my guys behind me do work.
We're consistent in what we do to prepare our guys for whatever we face, and then they got to go out there and execute. I tell them all the time, no matter what game you're at, it's just another Thursday or Friday or Saturday, and we're playing the game that we've all grown up with loving and enjoying. So if we can stick to that and stick to a simple plan and approach, then so hopefully good things will happen.
The women's lacrosse team began their playoff run chasing their first NJAC conference title. The team took on number 2 seed Rowan in the NJAC semifinals on Wednesday. Let's take a look at how things shook out. Senior Joelle D'Angelo in the third quarter took it all the way herself and fired a shot in the bottom left corner to grab Montclair's second goal of the game, 13-2 Rowan. Now on to the fourth quarter. A little give and go, D'Angelo finds Chelsea Stack and cuts in and receives a nice pass back to D'Angelo, her second goal of the day. Just 2 minutes later, Ava Abatiello in the fourth catches a high pass and finds Chelsea Stack inside of the fourth and the final Red Hawk goal. Lastly, Olivia Weiser all the way down to put the icing on the cake for the Profs. Number 22 in the nation, Rowan, are victorious, celebrating their 19-4 win. Rowan set the tone quickly with 9 unanswered goals in the first quarter. The Profs will face TCNJ in the NJAC finals. The struggle continued in the men's bracket, where Montclair State faced Kean in the Coastal Lacrosse Conference Tournament. Let's take a look at some of the best plays of the game. In the first minute of the game, Jacob DeVore starts this play off. He flips it to Aaron Bruccio, who scores a dart and the first goal for Kean, giving them an early 1-0 lead. Kean will go on to score 4 more and go up 5-0. But with 4 seconds in the first quarter, Ethan Mounier fires a dart for the first Red Hawk goal. Kean still lead 5-1. Now in the second quarter, Kean continues their dominance. Bruccio finds DeVore, who threw one under the goalie's legs to make it an 8-goal lead for Kean, a 10-2 lead. We now go to the fourth quarter, where Aaron Bruccio sneaks another one past Montclair State, giving Kean their final goal of the game. Kean took a strong 14-6 lead. With 5 minutes left in the game, John Crank from behind the goal finds a cutting Sebastian Graziano, who fires it into the back of the net, giving Montclair State their 8th goal of the day. But Kean is able to hold on in the end and only allowing 1 more goal, and they take the quarterfinal round 14-9. The Cougars ended up losing the next round to Christopher Newport. Our next topic is an amazing story for Montclair State athlete Tori Sutera. Tori is a multi-sport athlete between field hockey and track and field. She recently ran a 4:46.51 in the 1,500-meter run, the second fastest in program history, and the fastest since 1977. Let's find out more.
My name is Tori Sutera. I grew up playing sports my whole life. Field hockey was one of my first sports. I played basketball, softball, lacrosse, swam. but I never did track. I was talking with one of my teammates this summer saying sometimes I feel like I should have just ran. I got really into running this summer, and my Coach Eileen O'Reilly, implemented Strava for our team, which is a running app. So started using that. I started looking at my paces and really like analyzing my running. And when my teammate told me that, it kind of like stuck in my head, and I realized that I actually could do track because seniors don't do spring field hockey. We just do fall and then we're done.
I'm just so proud of the way that she embraced that new role with confidence, and her confidence, her work ethic, her focus really allowed her to have her best season in her senior year, which I think is really special and says something about the type of person she is, and when she puts her mind to something, she can excel at the highest level.
So I started talking with Coach Pete, and he was like, yeah, like send me some of your times and we'll see what we could do. So I sent him some of my times, and here we are.
Tori's a unique athlete because she has never run track before up until this year. Right? She's been a long-time field hockey player. I think her only attempt at running track was right before COVID happened in high school, and then she never got the opportunity to see what could have been. So when she called me this summer and mentioned that she was finishing up her senior year of field hockey and wanted to give track a shot, I was not really sure at first, but then she showed me a bit of what she's been doing, and I've had athletes like that before where I knew right off the rip that she was going to be good, she was going to be impactful.
So going into that meet, I was really, really nervous, probably comparable to my first ever meet, because I didn't PR in the previous meet. It was really bad conditions. My first 1500 was 4:55, and I found out that the regional qualifying time was sub 4:50. So I had a goal in mind to get sub 4:50. My goal for that meet, however, was just to PR. I went into it completely block everything out. I just focused on the girl's feet in front of me. I just ran. I ran, and then when I came around the last turn, I saw 4:45, and that's when I knew like I PR'd by 9 seconds, I qualified for regionals, and yeah, then I collapsed to the ground. But it was an amazing feeling. Every single one of my teammates came up to me and hugged me and told me that I did an amazing job, and just reinforced like the feeling of happiness I already had. A huge part of track is your teammates uplifting each other. It's not a competition with each other. It's a competition against everyone else. So just the more that your team comes together in any sport, regardless of if it's a team or an individual sport, you're gonna do better. The NJAC is red.
The women's 4x100 meter relay team had a strong showing at the prestigious Penn Relays. On day one, 4 members logged their quickest ever time at the event with a final time of 48:41. This placed 9th among the field and 4th among Division III schools. Day 2, the team placed 5th with a 4:49.83 time in the Eastern Finals.
Your new NTA National Champion, and for the first time winning back-to-back national titles, let's hear it for Montclair State University!
We are now joined by Montclair State's dance team, now back-to-back national champions. We have Ashley, Jessica, and Allie. How are you guys doing today?
We're good. Yeah, it's excited to be here. Thank you.
And I got to start with the big trip you guys are on, obviously in Florida, national championships in back-to-back years. Tell me about that trip. How was it?
You know, going in for a second year was definitely like a different aspect and like seeing everything. But I was definitely happy to be there and happy to be back.
You guys were not only champions in the team performance category, but also won 3rd place in the jazz performance. What was it about this team being so special to be able to compete in multiple categories?
We did face some difficulty within the year with like injuries and like all that. So the fact that we got to like just make it to Daytona and like compete in 2 dances with amazing choreographers as well is just absolutely amazing.
I was just going to say, we got the honor and privilege to work with Gianna Martello as our choreographer. She was on Dance Moms. She was Abby Lee's assistant. So she came in, she put this beautiful piece together. It honestly means so much to the 3 of us seniors. It's the song I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. So honestly, that was just one of my favorite dances.
Being able to dance in 2 categories, let alone being able to go to Daytona, was like such a privilege. I know that we came from like the bottom up of the team, and we got to grow with the team, and shout out to our coach Jen, because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have the program. But yeah, it was definitely a privilege.
Was there a particular point in the competition where you're like, here we go, we're going back to back, we're going to win it again?
Definitely after finals. So we start with prelims, and then we go to finals, and then this year it was brand new, so if you won your division for finals, then you move to Grand Champs and you compete in that. So after we got off for finals, I just knew that like it was ours. We were bringing it back home.
And I saw your team's theme this year is fearless. Ashley, can you tell me a little bit more about that and how that came about?
Being fearless throughout the season, I feel like that's like how the song kind of like came about too. Because just like if you are fearless, like you can work through any problem and you can like achieve a goal and reach a goal. And it's also fearless because all of our songs like pertain to this theme, and they're all about, it starts with like you're scared in the dance, and then as the dance moves on, it's like you're overcoming that fear.
Where does the team go from here? You 3 are all seniors, and I'm sure it's so bittersweet to be moving on after this year, but where does the future of this team stand? Is there a lot of different people that can compete at a high level as well, and you guys have a lot of faith in them?
Yeah.
Definitely, for sure. I'm honestly so excited to see where this team goes. I cannot even imagine where it will go. I know this year we were kind of like testing the waters to see where it can go, and it exceeded all my expectations. Like Daytona this year was probably my favorite time we've ever been to Daytona. So I'm honestly just so excited. Our coaches, Jen and Jenna, they've done an amazing job, and I know they'll just take it further.
And your team isn't considered a varsity sport, but I have to give you a ton of credit. It's so hard to compete at that level. And it's getting a ton of attention due to your success, the back-to-back national champions. What is the type of recruiting process here? How does it exactly work?
In May, we hold our first audition, so you come and you just do like some across the floor, like we want to see your jumps, your turns, your legs, all your fun tricks, and we teach you 2 different combos, and from there, our coaches decide if you are a good fit for us or not.
Yeah, and also going off that, if you can't make the auditions in person, we do video auditions. So anyone from, even if you're out of state and you're coming to Montclair, you're committed and you're thinking of joining the dance team, you could send us a video of all your skills. We honestly want anyone to come and be able to be on our team, so there's no limits for what we can do.
I want to thank you 3 so much for your time. Best of luck post-grad and with your careers.
Thank you so much.
Now, switching gears to the Montclair State football team, they have an eventful month ahead where they will travel up north to Ottawa, Canada to face the Ottawa Sooners, a junior Canadian football team.
I had this vision for this trip a while back because we graduated so many seniors last year, so I felt like this was a good chance to get some of these young guys extra reps this spring.
This is the first time we've done anything like this in school history, so I think it's a great opportunity for us to go on a nice road trip, spend time together as a team, get dinners, breakfast together, and really get closer as a team, because not many other teams that we play have an opportunity to do this.
It's definitely beneficial for us. We get 10 extra practices, so it's good for the young guys, bringing back a young group this year, so it helps them get more reps, definitely gives them experience in playing in a real game for a lot of them that may not have got it last year. I think this is definitely one of the more close-knit groups that we've had. I think that falls on just the older guys trying to just take the younger guys under our wing more. This semester, we done a lot more team bonding things, just outside of lifting and outside of practices, and I think this just kind of adds to it, like I was saying.
It means a lot to me, just being able to spend more time with the guys, extra practices, getting better, and we're out here early, so those days continue to stack up. There's 12 guys on the field allowed in Canada, it's 12 on each, so that's 24 in total. And as far as offense, it's actually very different. You're allowed to forward motion. You're also allowed to put multiple people in motion. So we're just trying to take advantage of that in every way we can.
Our rules are going to be a hybrid of Canada and American rules, where there's 4 downs, it's 12 on 12. Obviously, it's on their field, so it's a wider, longer field. It's an opportunity to compete. So really, the biggest thing is just from an evaluation standpoint, just seeing guys that can ball. You know, if you go out there, it's still football. It's still just getting on the field and making plays. So we want to see what guys can do that. And that's really going to give us a good idea of what our depth chart's going to look like coming August when we come back.
Well, guys, that seems like a lot of fun. Wishing you the best of luck in Canada. Safe travels, and bring Red Hawk Sports Network back a bottle of maple syrup, please, if you could. Now, last week, the Red Hawks' top athletes were honored in the Rocky Awards ceremony, which took place in University Hall. Red Hawk Sports Network was asked to broadcast the event live for the first time ever. And let's take a look how the night went.
it expands on what Red Hawk Sports Network can do. I think it's really cool.
I think this is a pretty unique situation. So, Red Hawk Sports Network normally only does live games. That's really our bread and butter. When we do things, we do our studio shows, we do our live games, but it's always directly involved, outdoors, fast-paced. And so when Joel D'Angelo emailed me and said, hey, we're having the Rockies. It's up in the 7th floor of the University Hall. We'd love for you to broadcast it for friends and family, because this is an athlete-only event. No friends, no family are invited, but they're awards. I think they were looking for a way to help parents and friends be a part of it. And for them to think of us, we're gonna get the Red Hawk Sports Network involved because they're good at this. But once we were asked to do it, which I was super excited about, I said, but can we make it more? Can we not just make it 1 or 2 cameras that are just following you around the room? Can we make it a real red carpet show? Can we do interviews on the red carpet when people walk in? Can we do interviews after people win? Can we do B-roll? Can you give me who wins in advance so I can build graphics and packages about those people? Really make it feel like an award show.
We're allowed to broadcast them outside the field. So it's a great way for us, Sports Network, to kind of broaden and kind of go outside of what they're comfortable with. And I think everyone's going to do amazing tonight. We can either be like in the corner of the Kansas Athletic Center, we can be in the control room back in the SCM, we could be in the second room or upstairs in Sprague Field. We can virtually work anywhere and put on a good show. And I think if you knew that we were back there, you would be shocked how good of a production we're putting on. I think that goes to show just how versatile the Red Hawk Sports Network is.
To be asked to do a broadcast for athletics, not for an athletic game, but for an award show, is something so powerful to the brand of the Red Hawk Sports Network and what it became and becoming and will continue on. I think the only way to really say it would just be exceptionally thankful.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good. No. Let me try these on. Blue shades. Oh yeah, that's more like it. I could have been invited to Rocky. Where's my award? Oh my gosh, we're rolling. Well, that will do it for the final episode of the semester from Inside the Nest. I'm Luke Cirianni, and we hope you have a great summer from the Red Hawk Sports Network. I got my shades. I'm ready to go to the beach, so I'll catch you guys in the fall.